And welcome back for game 2, of which potentially could be game 3. Noxious Gaming versus Fabled Esports, and we watched their first match as Noxious Gaming took it to the limit. They had the power, and they showed domination in that first round. We talked a little bit about their back history in their first match. I've seen this team before. I've cast them a number of times in both the Silicon Cup, the Steel Series, I want to say Pro Cyber Gamer as well. So in the top 4 for the New Zealand Australia teams, Oceania teams, they're definitely in their tops, one of those top tier positions. Going up against a relatively unknown team, Fabled Esports, who put up a do or die defense. And I have to give it to them. They did not go down easy in a lot of those engagements. It did just go out just to Noxious Gaming. So you have to give them a bit of a reputation, a little bit of a thumbs up for that. And as you can see, we are already well underway in terms of the draft. Batrider, Idle Titan, yet again coming out of Noxious Gaming, followed quickly by Fabled Esports on both Naga Siren and Lifestealer. We saw the power of the Lifestealer in the last game, but Fabled Esports yet again picking up their favored support in the form of Visage. But for the first time tonight, we see Darkseer getting through the ban pool and actually being picked up by Noxious Gaming. And they also go with Nyx Assassin. Both of these heroes are very difficult to deal with. Both of these heroes have a lot of potential to punch through. Of course, Nyx Assassin, well known for the Impale as well as the Vendetta and the just a general ganking that he can throw into a team. Darkseer, very well known for his ability just to push, block lanes, get early towers straight into a mechanism. And that's what I expect to see in terms of playstyle from Noxious Gaming. They play very down the middle, straight up in your face, the Dota. A little bit balls deep, and that's what I expect them to do. Fabled Esports, I'm not familiar with their strategy, but they've already gone into 2 very solid tier 1 pickups in the form of Visage, which I've already covered off, and Weaver, as you can see on your screen. And where we all expect Weaver to be is in their tri lane. Visage into the Weaver to be either in the tri lane or the long lane, and Visage to be in the tri lane. And there's no doubt that's where those 2 heroes are going to be. Whether it's offensive or defensive is yet to be seen. And as we go into the second round of banning, already it's very rapid at banning. Spirit Breaker straight into Timbersaw and OD. No time spent deciding those are the heroes we don't want to go toe-to-toe with. And I feel that I need to do another plugin for Southern Cross Dota. I don't feel like doing enough plugins for Southern Cross Dota. Southern Cross Dota is bringing you Tide's Wrath in partnership with TT Esports and Thermatech and Twitch TV. And without Southern Cross, we would not have this great community hub that supports not only their own events, but events being brought to you all across Oceania. Full support in both media coverage, as well as they'll hook you up with casters and any other kind of help that you want. And if it was not for a number of the members in Southern Cross, I wouldn't be bringing this stream to you. I would not have the overlay in place. I would not have the settings for the videos correct. So shout out to Southern Cross Dota. Back into the draft, however, the thing that you're all here to watch, Noxious Gaming going up against Head Fabled Esports, and you can see the third drop there being picked up very quickly. The win run in Fabled Esports, they had the strategy in mind, and now they're spending the time to decide whether or not they can round that off, and they do with their Clockwork. Of course, Clockwork, Cogs, everybody knows how Clockwork works. Everyone that's watching this should know how Clockwork works. And if you're not familiar with the meta with Clockwork and how he works and the early battery assault pickups, then you are missing out. Max level early battery assault, 1 level of clogs, 1 level of rocket flares, hook shot, and that should enable you to disrupt the enemy's team's position. Potentially get some pickups as well as turning the tide, and that's what I expect Fabled Esports will be doing with the Clockwork in terms of both build and position in the long lane. But let's not forget he can also go into a pseudo support position in the tri lane. And just to let people know, this channel is connected, definitely connected to drops in game So do not be afraid to sit and watch the stream. You will get your drops if you have a ticket to Tide's Wrath. And if not, it's a very affordable ticket price, so I don't see why you wouldn't. If you're in the Oceania region, you'd be highly interested in the teams being played. We saw in the previous game, in the previous match, a team from New Zealand, so it's not exclusively Australian. And well, I'm very surprised the Invoker pickup here by Noxious Gaming. Quas Wex build, or Wex Extort, or Quas Extort. Lots of viable options there with the Invoker. Some of those builds are suboptimal, but work really well in terms of synergy. And I expect this Invoker to be in the mid position. Invoker mid is so strong with Extort build, with the calling down the well-placed Sunstrikes, does enable your team to secure those kills, and it can have a devastating effect when he rotates into the side lanes. Who will he go up against is the question. There's only one hero that he does not do well against, and that is Puck. Traditionally speaking, I might add. And whether or not we see that is yet to be seen. Quick shout out to the 53 players currently watching on the stream at www.twitch.tv/Southern Dota 2. Stream 1 is currently either streaming another match or down, but stream 2 is up. And if you're watching in game, thanks to buying a ticket, your support of Southern Cross Dota in the Oceania region is much appreciated. And I was Amiga Kai, or I am Amiga Kai. Favorite esports picking up Troll Warlord. We've already seen a number of matches today with Troll Warlord. Some effectiveness in terms of being able to mid. Great tower push, and of course his ult really helps out with the right click in your team. And I feel that he synergizes extremely well with anti-mage, and yet I have not seen that combination in today's matches. And now we're down to the final bans and picks, and both teams have already gone through that. Tinker as well as a Sand King banned out, and I feel Tinker was a bit of a misban. I don't feel that Tinker would be picked up at all with this current lineup coming out of Noxious Gaming.
10 seconds remaining.
But SK, any ban on SK is always, I think, warranted. The epicenter damage that can really destroy your team in that mid-game phase. It can come out of nowhere. It can be bar striked in, and you can be left in a bad position, licking your wounds and in a full-scale retreat, headlong back to the well. And so I feel that is a warranted ban. But Tinker, on the other hand, while he has some utility, he's really good at the split push and really sort of fills into that rat through the slot. I don't feel that they would have been picked up, and they go with Venomancer. And they have this unconventional lineup. Venomancer with Invoker, Windrunner in there as well. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying there's a distinct lack of carry in this lineup. Only Invoker is the only carry in terms of star status that Noxious Gaming have. That does not mean it will not be a Nyx Assassin carry or not a Windrunner carry, but that's not their optimal position or role in terms of a team make-up. But Noxious Gaming, they showed in the last match that they have the power to take it to the enemy. They are the Thunder from Down Under, and they have the player skill over Fabled Esports in the last match. This is a new match, however. And I've seen a number of games that have gone for 3 into game 3, I should say.
10 seconds
because
remaining.
it's not just about player skill; it's about the ability to learn and develop your play style from the previous match, picking up on the enemy team and thinking, I can do that, or maybe I should do this differently. Fabled Esports going with Crystal Maiden, and I do not like this pickup at all. I feel that this is substandard. Crystal Maiden, of course, has a very slow movement speed, has great lockdown, can add to the team with her global aura mana, and of course, if she's either got that Ghost Scepter or a BKB, she can live through that. She can live through any kind of team fight as you go into the engagement. And let's have a look at who's on who. You can see on your screen already. We've got Coyote Norn sitting on Crystal Maiden. Prothesida. I'm terrible with names that I don't know how to pronounce. On Weaver. Tenor on Troll Warlord. Rush sitting on Visage. Lizzie Gig sitting on Clockwork. Quirty on Venomanta. Moops, the best player in the Oceanic region, as he is announced on many occasions, playing the next assassin. And Jan sitting on Windrunner. Kopi sitting on I should say Invoker. I was distracted a little bit by the stats there coming out of Ben, doing a great job there, Shares. And Darkseer being played by PPX.
30 seconds to battle.
And what will the lanes be? It's a little early. It's not too early to tell for at least the Radiant team. Crystal Maiden into a Visage and a Weaver in the Tri lane, and that leaves, of course, Troll Warlord and Clockwork for the top lane. And it is a Venom mid, and I find this highly unconventional, but it could work. Venom, of course, has a lot of push. Darkseer immediately into the jungle and top, because they already know that it's potentially a solo lane in the long lane. It is an Invoker next assassin, and that leaves, of course, Windrunner for the long lane, and that's where I like to see her, going long and going deep. Already on paper, I have to say that I feel that this is going in the favor of Noxious. Maybe not in the mid lane, because I'm not really sure how a Venomancer goes up against a Troll. This is a very unusual matchup, but you can already see there's a reasonable amount of harassment coming down onto Troll Warlord from Venomancer, who is also in turn taking a lot of damage and a lot of harassment of his own. But let's come back at level 6 when the levels of abilities are up, and that's going to really determine it. I don't feel that Troll Warlord has the advantage here. I feel that Venomancer does. There's some great action happening in the bottom lane here from Weaver. And as we look at the early game, 1 minute CS. We can see Darkseer has 5 fake CS, the CS that is not real because that's Darkseer jungling. With Invoker going toe to toe with him, followed by Weaver and Troll Warlord. So if we remove Darkseer with his fake CS from the pool, it just says that this Quas Wag Extort build, Invoker, I might add, doing really well. Deafening Blast as well as Cold Snap going to come into play very shortly, as well as Darkseer doing very well. He should probably look to rotate now that he's level 2, or maybe get one more level. Oh, it looks like he might be AFK. And Windrunner bottom lane pulling the ancients, at least stacking, or at least choosing to farm the ancients while there's no pushing. And I think there's a bit of a miss stat there from Shaza. I think he meant to say CM has been picked 9 times, not the hero. In any case, the game is well underway. There's a bit of stacking as well from the supports in the bottom Radiant lane. And this is a much slower paced match than we were expecting to see from Team Noxious. We're at the 2-minute match and there's no rotation, no gank, no first blood. And that just means that they're looking to play more conservatively. They have a win under their belt. And Noxious, they know that they have the advantage. They are the superior team going in with the favourites to win this out. But those teams that are on top sometimes make decisions that are rash. They dive when they shouldn't. They feel overconfident. And when people are overconfident, if you strike them in those situations, you can take the advantage. You can take the initiative out of their hands. And I think this FeS team, they have the options. They have their potential. Every team has a potential, but they've got great lockdown in the form of Crystal Maiden. Followed it with some troll damage. Maybe Visage. Maybe a good initiation from Clockwork. I do feel they lack a little bit in terms of late game carry. Darkseer taking a tremendous amount of damage, and he may get rocketed down if he's not careful. Stacking up the camp and opting to surge out because he has already taken huge amounts of damage. Veno's in trouble in the mid. He's going down by the looks of it. Lots of damage. 1, 2 right clicks. One more right click, and this will be first blood. He uses the tangos to secure his life. And that is just as close as you want to get. Darkseer does get killed by the neutrals. Troll is now also in trouble. Ping's going down onto Troll as from the side lanes. Potentially there could become a rotation. DD there sitting on the side in the top room position. And Troll opting to rotate and pick up this rune, the DD rune, that he can now take advantage of and potentially get the first blood, because look how low Qwerty is. Qwerty only on 200 hit points. And this is where we could see the first blood. Out will come the whirling axes of death. And Troll Warlord definitely midding well up against the Venomancer, but both of them sort of both of them taking damage, and DD being used as well as one more right click. First blood going up to FeS. Troll Warlord choosing the right opportunity to pick up the first blood, and as we say that, 2 kills unfold very quickly for Team FeS. Noxious on the back foot, they pick up their first kill in the form of Weber, who dived too deep thanks to Crystal Maiden and Visage throwing out the damage, but it's 3-for-1. And that unfolded all very rapidly. You can see on your screens that those kills just came almost at the same time. But Noxious now on the back foot. Troll Warlord taking a damage in the mid lane thanks to the rotation for Darkseer, but Weaver comes in. He wants to pick up one more right click and the bugs come down. There's a open wounds, but Venomancer does go down, and Darkseer, he's looking to try and live. He does go down. Double kill for the Weaver. Sunstrike comes in, but he uses the old time lapse, saving him out, and FeS take the commanding lead. Wow. Crystal Maiden gets away on 1 hit point. From what engagement, I don't know. And where did this team FeS come from? They just did, like I said, in the drafting phase, teams that learn from their mistakes and from the setup, those are the teams you expect to go through to the final, because they know how to sort of adapt their playstyle to the enemy team. And Noxious is a highly ranked team. So FeS is doing extremely well. If they can only just keep this momentum going, if they can just make sure that they apply their pressure in the right place, they will be looking to go to game 3. And it's only a few minutes into the game. So yeah, just letting you know, I have no co-caster tonight. This was non-scheduled match play thanks to server issues earlier in the week, and there's nothing we could really do about it. So we're just doing the makeup games today on Friday, potentially some on Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, it's Hans Reborn versus somebody on Sunday night, which I may be able to bring you, but it is very late. 8:45 Sunday night, Australian Standard Time. So far, though, these teams don't disappoint. The level of Dota coming out of both teams. Here comes Whirling Axes of Death, and you can see it just drives Venomancer away. And everybody is taking damage. Everybody, everywhere, from a number of different sources. You can see Darkseer potentially playing with death as he drives down his own HP to within 100 HP while he farms. And now he rotates mid. And I find that very, very odd. While in the bottom lane, we have the first tower under siege, and this could be a first tower. It is the first tower. Weaver driving off one runner, and they're not going to lean up. They're going to keep the pressure going. A relentless assault but towards the tier 2 tower in the long lane, or the bottom lane, by Team FeS. They have an advantage at 3-2 kills in the XP graph, and Gold Graph says that it is only just slightly in their favor. After all those kills, it's only less than 250 gold. Experience, however, on the side of Team Noxious, who are just stacking and pulling irregularly. And this is what we're missing out of the other team. They're not keeping pace. And now there is an engagement in the middle. Venomancer uses his ult, but he goes down to Whirling Blade of X, and there's a 4-man rotation into the middle to secure his kill. Team FeS are on fire. They are a different team. They're re-energized and charged in that break time. And they're now looking to deny Troll Warlord. But he does. The dot wears off at 58 points, so he's going to live instead.
Illusion.
And I'm being told after tonight, bracket 2 will be finished. We'll be going into the games next week on bracket 3, best of 1 for some of those matches. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Clockwork takes Invoker in a scenario that I wouldn't have thought would have happened. And Weaver is going to dive hard. He's looking for the kill. He has time lapse available. No, it's not. It's on cooldown. He immediately goes to TPR. Vacuum being used, and that's a great pickup. But in comes the Troll Warlord. And it is 7 for 3. Big misplay by
Dire's middle
Weaver.
tower is under attack.
Players here.
Dire's top tower is
And
under attack.
And in a moment of surreal gameplay, in the middle we see Sunstrike come down. It does secure the kill. Darkseer also picks up a rune. So it's another kill again for Team Noxious. They are behind, but in a moment of surreal gameplay, rocket flag goes off as fireworks go off outside my window because it is Guy Fawkes in New Zealand. So extreme immersion here for your caster.
Denied.
And Invoker takes a lot of damage. He is looking to be driven out. In comes Impale, but it completely fails. Reaction TPs coming out of Team Noxious. They sense that they are starting to tip the scales. It is going their way, and although the graphs say it is already going well in their way, kills are in the ballpark of Team FeS. And this is the only stat that the teams have to really measure the team in terms of how they're going. And let's have a look at net worth. Net worth says that it is, well, more kills in the top lane. Both Clockwork as well as Venom exchange each other in this weird engagement of Fury. They kill each other. Helped by creeps as well as Visage in the tower.
Axe observes carnage underway.
And net worth wise, you can see that it is Invoker leading the way with 4-5 net worth at the 11-minute mark, followed by Troll Warlord and Weaver, who are not far behind. I mean, there's a 1,000 gold gap between Invoker.
Killing spree.
More big plays missed by your procaster Migi Kai. And that's the presence of Noxious all over the map, or globally applying themselves everywhere, pushing all the lanes, looking for options in terms of damage. And you can see Darkseer going straight into that mechanism we talked about earlier, and we could see here a Windrunner. She has shackled somebody, or looked to get some familiars at least. And there's a great hook shot in, as well as a number of abilities, but there's no follow through, and this could end poorly. Another shackle shot as well as a Crystal Maiden ult. It doesn't catch anybody. There is enough damage here to take down Veno as well as push on to the tier 1 mid tower. Down comes Sunstrike. Does it secure any kills? No, it doesn't, but it does do a substantial amount of damage to the Rocket Flare champion Clockwork. And as both teams muster in the mid lane, they look to assault each other's tier 1's towers. Of course, easy towers equals easy gold, and both teams looking for a gold advantage, although they cannot see the graphs before me, and it says it's going downtown in the favor of Team Noxious, as well as XP. Although it is 9-6 in terms of kills for Team FeS, they must feel that they have a game in. Crystal Maiden comes in from the side. They look to drive off this assault. And the game seems a little bit to and fro as both teams look to engage piecemeal into each other with no dedication from either side to commit to a solid team fight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And all the action is in the mid lanes as abilities fly down, wards are detected. They know that there is vision here for both teams. Nyx really wants to engage. He knows that this level 1 Vendetta does not have long left to go before it wears out. He does initiate onto Clockwork. The rest of the team comes in, and comes the Gale as well as a little mini push. And the assault now is directed towards the mid-tier 1 tower. While in the bottom lane, Weaver and Invoker exchange blows, and Sunstrike comes down. It does almost kill Weaver. He does only sit on a couple of hit points, but he's forced to use his time lapse to make the 300 HP. Invoker leads the TP out. So it is a very close games in terms of kills. Graph-wise though, what is it? What's on the board list for a 3,000 gold advantage to Team Noxious, followed by a 4,000 XP gain advantage. Again, it's very close. It's only a couple of kills in it. It's only a team fight or so. So both teams now focusing on the mid. I think this is just because everybody's there. I think it's one of the scenarios where both teams say, oh, there's 4 mid, we should stay mid. Whereas the other team's looking to probably rotate out, but they can't because they know that there's 4 mid. So it's a vicious cycle which will lead to a team engagement. One of these teams will get sloppy, they'll get out of position, and of course Team Noxious, they are well skilled and well adept in terms of team fighting. They have a good overlay of abilities as well as a vast pool of experience. And you can see Team FeS here, they are mounting a sizable defense to drive back this assault, but it just seems to be too much coming out of Team Noxious, as they've even applied more damage to the mid-tier tower.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And I must draw your attention to the top lane. Familiar is assisting the wave to drive down the tier 1 tower at the top, and that's what you want to do. He can call back his Familiars if he needs to. Meanwhile, you can see these two heroes, they've looked to rotate to get some kills, get some XP. And meanwhile, in the middle, Invoker picks up Crystal Maiden. She's way out of position here. As soon as I zoom away, there's an engagement in the kill. And that's the problem.
Much like cordwood before axe's axe, Dire's top tower is under attacks.
I'm not sure about that stat. I'm not really sure what it's conveying. Shaz is drinking. Shads has been drinking, so those stats may not be accurate. 60% of the Clockwork all the time, every game, he says. Meanwhile, in the top lane, a bit of harassment going down onto both these heroes. Darkseer taking a bit of a dive in HP, and this tower is within a seasonable assault distance. So is the mid lane tower, and the bot tower is already gone. Radiant can easily take 2 more towers here now if they look to push as a team, and there is a sizable amount of damage. They are looking to harass in the mid lane. It's been answered by Vendetta, and Invoker picks up another kill thanks to Sunstrike. No, deafening blast into Meteor, as well as a Yul's being used. So
War has come to Radiant's bottom tower.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, both these teams look to engage very strongly, and you can see Winrunner, she is being driven back. A lot of damage being applied there. And what the hell is going on? Price is going to everybody witnessing in both the stream and whatnot. It is a massive amount of people winning prizes right there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The assault is now 9 for 9. It looks even all for both teams as the damage now comes through. TP out from the mid lane, and now Darkseer comes in. He senses there is less heroes here. He sees the TP. And they're looking to block, if not dive very, very deep. Team Noxious, they are pinging down. They are being blood frenzied. There is a counter push here from the Radiant team, but it could end up very badly. They see the Darkseer. In comes the Venomancer. He could also be picked up. And Clockwork comes in with the Great Hook. Noxious Gaming get destroyed under that. There's a vacuum out of the Clockwork. That's 2 kills. 1 for each team. 10 for 10.
Radiant's middle tower
And
is
thanks to
under
a lucky
attack.
rocket, that's another kill, another 2 kills for Team Noxious. Now taking the first time in this particular match, taking the kill advantage in their favor. But gold wise, it is way deep in the eternity. And items, they say the same story. Team FeS on the back foot, having still got boots to convert, no core items. Where you can look at Team Noxious, they have core items. They have both a mechanism as well as a scepter of divinity. Having completed also the Wing of Aquila, giving themselves an extra level of push. Mechanism used to ensure that they can stay in. Clockwork wants to look for a kill. There is also TP reactions, but this is not going to stop the tower from going down. In comes Troll Warlord. Out come the Whirling Blades of Death, as well as the Crystal Maiden ult into a Sunstrike, and that is a nice pickup for both Team Noxious. And of course the Invoker player, who's just playing like a complete champion. And wow, that's going to be a dead Weaver who overcommits and looks to kill a Duxia. But of course, that is a dead Duxia. And now it is 10 for 15. Well in the favor of Noxious Gaming, who have got a sizable 10,000 advantages when these graphs catch up in both XP and gold.
Double damage.
But Invoker, definitely Kaipo being the MVP of the match in terms of his skill and ability. Somewhat disappointed in Moops' plays as Nyx Assassin, not really playing as aggressively or as well as I expect somebody to play. In fact, not being the best player that he proclaims himself to be. But a troll picking up both those creeps from Invoker. Why did those creeps get killed? I don't know why they were so deep in the enemy territory. And let me take a moment just to have a look at what the items are. Boot to travel now available. Invoker, well as a Yules and a 4-staff into a Hand of Midas, and there's a lot of farm sitting on an Invoker and huge amounts of utility, especially with that Yules and 4-staff. We should be following this Invoker now because this is where all the action is going to be. 4-staff's coming out across the map, especially for Team Noxious, and they are getting a more substantial lead in terms of gold. You can just see the gold mounting away and adding to their graph, and it's just going downtown, hard south towards the South Pole. Let's have a look at items now again, even though I just looked at them. Mechanism Yules, 4-staff, Boots of Travel, 4-staff, as well as, of course, some substantial farm. And Invoker goes godlike. I should have stayed with him. He picks up yet again another kill, and Windrunner also picks up a kill, and that's a 3, if not a 4 hero kill up. There's a vacuum and a wall, and now only Clockwork lives as he looks to retreat. This is an assault for which there is no return from Team Noxious. They commit and get a 5-man wipe, and now convert the tier 1 top tower into cash. Subtracting from health and adding to wealth. They're now driving down this top lane, mounting the heads of Team FeS on spikes as they go down towards the tier 2 tower. Damage proving to be too much, and as the dust settles,
Radiant's top tower is
Noxious's shock and awe tactics definitely leaving Team FeS bunkered up and looking for opportunities to pick off heroes. Although we do not see aggressive warding, we do not see aggressive dusting, smoking. The stats are kind of confusing. Invoker only being picked up twice? Really? So good. Especially when played by good players. Look how great this player is. He comes in with a 4-staff down onto yours, and then comes the Meteorite. Then into a Cold Snap or a Deafening Blast. Pick up, easy kill there for Kopi. I'm glad I rotated onto that when I did. And now when they push the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, he looks to retreat and give up his elementals to either apply lots of damage onto heroes or at least drive down some damage on this tower. And it is now 11 for 21. have to say that things are not going the way that you were expecting them to go in terms of team. What's their name? I apologize. As I old head look at their name. Team FeS. And in the bottom lane, we see Troll Lord go down to a number of abilities as well. Again, another Deafening Blast and Medius. I should say Yules and Media. And body blocking from Darkseer almost secures a kill, as well as a rotation in from the buyback Troll. No commitment onto the tier 2 bottom tower. Next assassin comes in, the vacuum wall comes out. And is it enough to drive back the assault? They do choose True Warlord. Crystal Maiden's in trouble, as well as Clockwork, but he mounts under the fury of damage. There is a cacophony of abilities being used, as well as the TPs you can see on your screen coming in. Darkseer, both, everybody dying. Everybody dying. Buybacks all over the place. And FeS must be feeling somewhat significant after the engagement, being dove between the tier 1 and the tier 2 towers. They have been left cast aside a little bit, disposed by like a used piece of plastic, unwanted and disused. And again, Invoker showing that he has the player of the day. He managed to force stuff out of that position as well as Windwalk away. Ghostwalk, I should say. And FeS calling this Invoker Dindy because his plays are surely up there with the higher level players that those Invoker players that you hate to love. And now people revert to farming, but except down here, the Invoker, he is looking to pick off the Weaver, and Weaver does go down thanks to a cacophony of abilities. The enemy team are evaporating somewhat under the thunderous damage. Reactions fast as lightning, leaving the enemy team somewhat shocked and awed in their wake. Again into middle, Invoker looking for a kill or some kind of engagement here. Comes down again, a Yules Deafening Blast straight into a Meteor, which does secure the kill. Huge amounts of damage just unloading. And this is the power of Invoker when played well, when getting the farm that you expected to get. The graphs, I don't know if there's anything worth looking at because it is 15,000 gold, 15,000 XP in the advantage of teams. Noxious Gaming.
Tower is under attack.
They are being cautious though, they aren't overextending, they aren't pushing towers as much as they would like to.
Dyer's middle tower is not what it
Troll
used
looks to take the mid tower by himself.
The Dire structures cannot be hurt.
And Invoker does pick up, comes down with Cold Snap, as well as a rotation from everybody, and that is a dead Troll Warlord.
You die as you lived.
Invoker fully in control of his abilities, fully in control of the map. Now looking to place some damage down onto the mid-tier lane.
Radiant's middle tower
Both these
is
teams,
under attack.
I don't know about the playstyle of this team FeS. They are on the back foot. I have not seen them smoke. I have not seen them play aggressive warding strategies in order to give themselves that room to farm. They are definitely not working as well together as I had expected. But Team Noxious, nice hook in there from Clockwork, but it's all for naught. Invoker gets out of the trouble. There is a vacuum wall as well as a deafening blast into a meteor. There is an exchange of heroes. It's 2 for 1. Can they get another? Darkseer manages to get out, but the damage now going down onto the Visage by Invoker as well as Weaver. Weaver's there, but is this a dead Visage? It is. And now they look to get the kill on Troll Warlord. Pick up yet a third kill from an overextended hero. And it is a 4 for 1 as the retreat is sounded by both teams. Invoker's still keeping the pressure on in the mid lane though. Familiar gold being added to the stack as it resolves, and now the damage comes down onto the tier 3 tower. Team Noxious just assailing in terms of graphs, in terms of kills, deafening blast. The skill out of this team is almost unbearable to watch as the enemy team evaporates under a thunderous applause of damage. There are buybacks because they sense that they can push this tier 3 tower. There is a TP in from Visage, but this could be a bad mistake as he gets immediately engaged on Cold Snap from Icewall, as well as a Soul Combustion trying to get the kills. And that is the tier mid tower, tier 3. This is converted into a Rex, and you have to say from this position, it looks extremely bad for Team FeS.
Perhaps more axe is called for. Radiant's middle barracks have fallen.
And Noxious just dominating, throwing out kill after kill, and they've only lost to Darkseer. It's been like 14 for 1 in terms of total kills. Yet Team FeS, they aren't going to give this up so easily. They're going to fight it to the bitter end, and they've lost their first set of risks. They feel that they can take this still. They feel they can take the game to game 3. If not, this will be the last game cast tonight. And I still feel that this Invoker is out of control. Having Argnums, look at this Invoker, so much farm. So much farm. And kills, 22 kills being picked up by Invoker. And a hook in from Clockwork, but this may not work out the way he is expected. He gets destroyed. But Invoker does fall. Buys back with an 80-minute cooldown. 80-second cooldown. 80-minute. 80-second cooldown. And I have to apologize to GGWPCC for the zoom-ins. Not sure why it's zooming in so much. Dire team now converting all the free space they have from having such large dominant map control into a free Roshan. And there is kind of like the opportunity here for the Radiant team to pick up something. They are going to pick up the mid lane tower. So that's not for nothing. But Team Noxious have a commanding lead. At over 25 and 30,000 XP, you have to say from this position, it's a Himalaya of graph to get over for Team FeS. They must be feeling somewhat demoralized, having lost so many of those team engagements, gone so close, and just to come out on bottom time after again and again. So this team is playing like TI3 champions, which is Noxious E-Game Sports or Esports. I can't remember what they're called. Noxious Gaming Esports. And with that missing tier mid tower, there is the opportunity here now just to push for the throne. But a deal warding happening from Noxious. They want to make sure that they have an unassailable position from which they can push forward. And they are pushing down the middle. It does look like they are looking to go straight for the throne, or at least rotate into the bottom or top. And in the top lane you can see here Invoker solo pushing with his 23 kills, picking up the majority of kills in this match. He is the one impaling heads on spikes. He is the impaler from Australia. And in comes the Yules into a number of abilities, but Weaver's led from that. He has time-lapsed out. And Darkseer's in a bit of trouble. Darkseer had the Aegis? Seriously? Darkseer had the Aegis because there's no option here other than to give the Darkseer Aegis. And now they enter the Farmwell status phase. And I do not feel as though there is many options left available here for the Radiant team. They are looking for Divine Rapiers to rain from the sky, Aegis to spawn around them, infinite gold in order to come back from this position, because they are now looking to be double raxed in the bottom lane. it's pretty close to that situation. And it's now 19 for 41 as they're now beginning to well farm. And the only chance here I feel is an accurate, like I said, accurate smoke and gank. Clockwork goes in, he does pick up, he gets the gem and true side. And now they can see the enemy. In comes Venomaster with the ult, but he will pay for that, obviously with his life. If they can right click him down 2 more times, he does get away, and another pickup for Noxious. 45 to 20 as they take down, they don't even take the racks at the bottom lane, but there's a huge creep wave coming in behind this. Huge creep wave. What's going on with my mouse? Huge creep wave.
Unstoppable! Axes pleased!
And Visage picks up a second kill. Another gem and true sight being dropped, or the same gem and true sight. Invoker picks up the final kill. It's a 5-man wipe, and now they can assail what it should be a tier 3 Rex, if not the throne, unchallenged, unchecked. Because only Clockwork is yet to come back. He comes back in. Will he dive deep with the Crystal Maiden, or will they just let this be the end of the game? It's hard to tell. A bit of complaints there about how good the Invoker player is. You have to give it up to him. He's just playing so well. GG given by Team FeS. And MVP up to Kope, who played this amazing Invoker, carrying the team to success. Picking up the majority of kills. 30 of the 48 kills. In comes the stuns, but this is for naught because now they do want to assault the ancients. And as heroes go godlike, abilities as well as items drop on the server. GG caught yet again. The game's still not over. And well done to Team Noxious, who have played like champs. They've just played so well in this match and in the previous match. And they're now just farming the well for extra kills, waiting for the creeps to push through. As the tier 4 tower, the last tier 4 tower, goes down to creeps, and now the Asian takes his assault damage. They are looking to finish off the game though by killing as many heroes as possible. The game not ended. GG not counting.
Much like Cordwood before Axe's axe, Dire's top tower is under attack.
And going to take the opportunity to plug in Southern Cross Dota, as is already seen on your screen in terms of stats. Southern Cross Dota is a community hub. If you're watching the stream, you can see the links below to both Facebook as well as their website as well as Twitter. Hit follow, hit subscribe. Go along to the forums and sign up. And this is, of course, in partnership with TT Ilsus by Thermatake and, of course, Twitch TV. I was your Casa Amiga Kai. You can follow me on www.facebook.com/AmigaDota or www.twitch.tv/AmigaKai. Well, thanks for watching in what has to be a fairly one-sided match. Team Noxious taking game 2. And that will be the final match for tonight, I think. There may be one more round. Stay tuned for an update.